Hey guys, and happy Tuesday. So today I am part of the Patriotic Challenge, and I'll have some more information about that a little bit later. I'm going to start off my first project with one of these wood tags signs from the Dollar Tree, along with this little wood plaque or wood decor piece also from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my apple barrel white paint. And actually Plaid just sent me a big box of stuff, and this was one of the items that was in that box. I'll have their information linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for Plaid. I became a Plaid ambassador, and I am already loving all the stuff that they've sent me, using it up, and they're really, really good pieces or items. So definitely check them out. The next thing that I'm going to do is kind of fix up the tag. I'm going to leave it as far as like I'm not painting over the whole thing, but the blue part of it had some like little dings and scratches on it. So I'm just going to go ahead, use whatever little bit of white paint is left on that brush, and I'm just going to dry brush over the blue part. And here on camera it kind of looks just streaky, but in person it looks like a weathered sign. So I'm just going to go ahead, go over a little bit, kind of cover up any of those little nicks and dings. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue the United States wood piece onto the wood tag, or the tag there, onto the stripe part of it. And then once I'm done doing that, when I was looking at it, it all just kind of blended together, just the white on top of the white there, and I just kept looking at it and didn't like the way that it was looking, because initially I was just going to kind of leave it like that. What I decided to do was just use one of the little markers that came in that United States sign package, and I'm just going to outline the little wood piece just to kind of give it some definition so that it kind of sticks out from the rest of the white on the stripes. And that's all I did with that. Pretty simple. And of course you can paint it any color you want to, or you can, use whatever pieces you want to use for those. But this is what it looks like once it's all done. And I really, really like it. So for today, guys, I am part of the Patriotic Challenge. It's hosted by Teresa B DIY and Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Designs. And guys, this is an amazing challenge. This is, something that I'm very, very honored to be a part of. We are doing this to help those that are staying at the Fisher House, or anybody that at some point may need their services. So definitely check out Teresa's channel, check out Sammy's channel, and I will also leave the link to the playlist and to Fisher House down in the description box. If you're so inclined, please be sure to check them out. And if you'd like to leave a donation at the Fisher House, please let us know, and you can just click on that link. And if you're coming over here from the playlist, welcome. Thank you so much. And if you're my returning subscribers, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So for my next DIY, I don't know why I had that upside down, but for my next DIY, I'm going to be using 2 of these big mason jar signs. And I'm also going to be using 3 of these wood plank pieces from the Dollar Tree. And I'll be using my blue apple barrel paint. And it was amazing because the box that they sent me had red, white, and blue paint, and this challenge was a red, white, and blue challenge, so I was able to use those paints in this challenge. So I painted 2 of the planks blue on one side because that's just the part that's going to be showing. Then I took the little jute piece off of the mason jar there, and what I'm going to be doing is kind of making I would say vase, but technically it's not a vase. But I'm going to be gluing 2 of those wood planks, the ones that I painted blue, are going to go on either side of the mason jar, as you see me doing here. And I'm just going to hot glue them on there. I'm not going to use any, wood glue or anything like that, because I think I mentioned this every video. I use Gorilla Glue hot glue sticks, and they work amazingly. But yeah, so all I'm gonna do, there was glitter all over everything, so yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, hot glue the two sides on there, kind of making the two side walls there. And all I did was just put a strip of hot glue onto the one side of the wood plank, and then I did the same thing on the other side. And like I said, I was just trying to make like a little vase, kind of, or even if it's not a vase, but just kind of a little container, I guess. So once I'm done gluing both of those sides on there, I'm also going to be gluing one piece on the bottom. And you'll see here in a little bit, I end up kind of having to readjust some things. And so here, I'm putting the bottom part on there, and then I'm going to be gluing the other mason jar right on top of here. And I'm not painting the mason jars. I really just like the way that the signs were looking this year. Usually I'll take all the glitter and whatever writing is on there, but I don't generally do a whole lot of decorating for like 4th of July and Memorial Day. I'm not a big fan of like red, so I don't usually use, red, white, and blue in my home decor. But for this challenge, and because I think it's for a good cause, I definitely wanted to participate and do my part. And so I just left these signs exactly the way that they were because I liked the way that they looked. So once I put this on here, I realized that it wasn't going to work quite the way that I wanted it to, leaving it like this because it was going to be wobbly, or it was going to kind of swing or sway or whatever. So I had to take my heat gun and kind of heat that glue up so that I can remove one of the sides of the mason jar, and then do the same thing to that bottom plank. And so what I ended up having to do was take that bottom plank out and put it all the way at the bottom of the signs. That way it would be a flat surface on the bottom. I don't know why I didn't think about this initially. And I'm just putting another bead of hot glue on the inside there just to make sure it's secure. And it was just kind of moving around because I did heat it up. So what I ended up doing, like I said, is pulling this one off. And you can't really just like take the pieces off because this glue, like I said, sticks really, really well. So I had to heat it up, and then once you heat that glue up, it does come off fairly easily. So I was able to just kind of pop it off there. And then, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and glue it along the bottom of the sign, just so that there is a flat surface. And unfortunately, when you are, looking at it, you are going to see kind of the corners of it, but it's not too big of a deal. For me, not in my opinion. Now, if you wanted to do something different, obviously you could maybe cut them down a little bit on the sides, and that would work too. But I'm just going to go ahead and glue the other piece back on the top of there, and both sides are going to be, you can use it either way. What I'm going to do is put it in front. I have like a little table in front of my front window, so I'll be using it there so that it can be seen inside and out. So once you are done doing that, I realized that if I was going to put my flowers in there, it was too long. So I ended up having to take another one of these wood planks and just glue it to the bottom of those two side pieces. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. This is a pretty big piece, so it's kind of hard to show you everything, but what I ended up doing was just putting glue on both those pieces and then putting that wood plank on there just so that the flowers can actually be seen when you put them in there. Because the other way, I didn't realize these pieces were so deep or so long, so the flowers just kind of fell they just kind of fell in there and you could only see like the tips of them. So this was my way of solving that little problem there. And like I said, all I did was hot glue them on there. And then I bought these red, white, and blue flowers from the Dollar Tree, and I just put those in there. I think I used 4 bunches, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was 4 of these. I think they're roses. And yeah, I just took 2 blue ones, and sorry, you can't really see them just yet. Like I said, this is a pretty big piece here, but I just kind of, arranged them in there the way that I liked, and this is how it turned out. So for my next project, we're going to be making I guess no, I'm going to be making a miniature, sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm making a miniature version of that same little flower vase jar, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be using two of these wind chime signs, and they are, mason jars as well. I'm going to fill in the holes, but I end up messing that up, so kind of doesn't even matter. But I just filled in the holes with the hot glue, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the back side of the signs, because this side's going to be on the inside, so you're not going to be able to see it anyway, but actually you do, and then I end up having to paint the whole thing. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to paint these red, and again I'm using excuse me, using the apple barrel red paint that they sent me in my first box. And I'm just going to give them a couple of coats of the red paint, and that's all I did with these. So then I also cut up some of these jumbo craft sticks from Walmart, and I'm just doing the same thing, like I said, that I did with the first one, just on a smaller scale, just to give you guys some options. I know sometimes you can't find the same signs or anything like that, but you can get these little mason jar wood chimes, or Dollar General always also has some little mason jar signs. You can use those, or you can just, create one out of foam board, kind of cut it out of foam board, and that would work also. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, like I said, do the same thing with this one that I did with the other one on a smaller scale. I'll just be using the craft sticks, making the walls with that, and then that will be it for this. So as you can see, I just went ahead, I had to paint kind of the side walls of it because you could see the print on the sides there. So I just gave it a quick coat just so you couldn't see it as clearly or as brightly as bright. And you'll see in the picture that I did add some embellishments. I just lost the recording of that, but this is what it looks like with all my little decor on there. And for my last project here, I'm going to be taking this Pringles can and I'm going to take it outside and spray paint it with some navy blue spray paint. And once I'm done doing that, I brought it back in after it dried, and my fingers were horrible. Don't use your fingers to hold stuff that you're spray painting. It doesn't work. I have this silver ribbon that I got from a thrift store. I think it was my little local thrift store here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kind of follow the little, I don't know how to explain it, like the wrapping from the Pringles. You can kind of still see the outline of it. So I'm just kind of following that with the ribbon just so that I can make sure that it, comes out even and comes out straight. And I'm just going to wrap it around there twice. There's going to be two little sections or two ribbons I'm going to cut out and wrap around there, just, so you can, I guess like a kind of like a candy cane. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I'm just going to take the ribbon and make two, like I said, two whirls, two twists around the can there. And once it's done, this is what it's gonna look like with the two pieces on there. And I just hot glued the tips into the inside and on the bottom. Then the next thing that I'm going to be using is one of these like balloon, I guess it's a balloon weight from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take the lid from the Pringles container. I'm going to make a slit, and then I'm going to cut a circle in the middle. And that way you can put the balloon weight, how do I explain it? You'll be able to see what I'm talking about here in a minute, but you're going to slip the lid over the balloon weight and then hot glue the lid onto the balloon weight. And then that way, when you put the lid onto the Pringles container, the balloon weight doesn't fall. I hope that makes sense. This one it's easy, but I don't know. I'm not explaining it very well, so I'm sorry for that. But here you see, I'm just gonna slide the lid on there and then hot glue it all the way around. And that was pretty much it. Once you put it in there, if you want to, you can add some more hot glue to the lid to keep it on there, but really just like this, it stays on there and the weight fits into the Pringles can perfectly. And this, like I said, was just a really simple way to make a cute little decor piece. You can use this as like a centerpiece at your, barbecue or anything like that. I thought it was just cute, and you can make them all different colors. You can decorate them however you want to, and you just have a little firework as a centerpiece for your tables. Or you can do how, use them however you want to. You can paint the lid if you want to, but it didn't really bother me. It's clear, so it didn't really bother me. But this is how it turned out. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to head on over to the Teresa and Sammy's channels, and don't forget to check out the Fisher Place. And until next time, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye guys.